Speaker, the minister proposes this new tax increase on every single dollar that a fisherman earns inside of his small business. There is no $250,000 exemption for him. Even if he just earns $1,000, he'll have to pay the tax increase. We forget it's not just our wonderful farmers that feed us, but it's also our fishermen. Will the finance minister amend her bill to ensure that there will not be a single fish harvester anywhere in Canada that will face a tax increase?
The Honourable Government House Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I grew up in Atlantic Canada. I grew up as the grandson of 2 dairy farmers. I grew up around an awful lot of fishers. I grew up around people who worked with their hands and didn't think that electricians got electricity from the sky, but rather they got it in plugged from the wall. What I would like to challenge the leader to do is he should gather all of the electricians who think that they should not pay over $250,000 on capital gains. I'll get together all the electricians who think that a buck is a buck is a buck. We'll compare.
The Honourable Leader of the Official Opposition.
Will they exempt electricians from this tax hike?
The Honourable Deputy Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, for the past couple of years, the Conservative leader has been cosplaying a friend of union workers. But yesterday, we called his bluff, and they know it. Here's what the president of the CLC said. With this vote, the Conservative leader has shown he believes that an ordinary worker flipping burgers for a living should be taxed on 100% of their income, while his CEO friends making millions from flipping stocks should be taxed on only half of their income. That is what the Conservatives believe, and it is shameful.
Wow. The Honourable Leader of the Official Opposition.
Mr. Speaker, there are many union workers who have rental properties that they invest in. Will the minister make the commitment that no union worker will have to pay this tax increase?
The Honourable Government House Leader.
I don't know which union workers that he's talking to, but the union workers that I talk to and that we talk to and dialogue with and that the finance minister just quoted are people who believe in solidarity, who believe in caring for others, who believe in dental plans and child care and the Canada Child Benefit and every other single thing that this leader has voted against. The very things that this fairness tax measure will pay for. So yes, Mr. Speaker, we accept the leader's challenge. Let's talk to union members and see what side of the equation they come down on.
Honourable Leader of the Official Opposition.
Est-ce que la ministre
would the minister agree to an amendment to her tax hike that would exempt carpenters, plumbers, electricians, and farmers? Yes or no?
The Honourable Minister of Innovation.
Mr. Speaker, what I can tell you is that fairness is at the core of Canadian identity. People in Shawinigan and in Carleton understand that in a fair society, fairness is fundamental. And that's why in our last budget, we made changes to the capital gains tax, which will enable us to reinvest in the economy, in our workers, in housing. But surprise, Mr. Speaker, the Conservatives are against tax fairness. Imagine they're against tax fairness. We on this side of the House will always be on the side of workers and the middle class and on the side of Canadians. The Honourable Leader of the Official Opposition.
Data, Dr. Jack Mintz calculated that 50% of those who will pay this tax increase earn less than $120,000 a year, and 10% earn less than $18,000 a year. No, we don't have to dispute these numbers. Why don't we just make it simple and make it clear? Will the minister accept an amendment to exempt anyone who earns less than $120,000 a year from this tax increase? Yes or no?
The Honourable Minister of Finance.
Mr. Speaker, actually there is a $250,000 threshold. So the new rate kicks in only educate the Conservative leader. I'm going to point him to...
I can't hear any of that, so I'm going to allow the Deputy Prime Minister to restart.
I'm grateful, Mr. Speaker, because it does seem that the Conservative leader, who for baffling reasons wants to take all the questions, maybe to show off his ignorance, doesn't actually understand.
I would ask the Honourable Deputy Prime Minister maybe to retract that and finish that. I gave enough grace to allow to repeat. The Honourable Deputy Prime Minister.
Okay, I'm sorry. I retract that. So let me just say, it was baffling to me that the Conservative leader is taking all of the questions to show he doesn't really understand what we're doing, but it gives me a chance to explain it to him. So it only kicks in after 250,000 of capital gains does this new level.
The Honourable Leader of the Official Opposition.
Mr. Speaker, I just gave that minister more than 20 opportunities to prove that what she was saying was true. I asked her, and she refused, if she'd give an exemption to her tax hike to carpenters, farmers, fishermen, plumbers, union workers, restaurant owners, electricians. She said no. She said no to exempting people who earn less than $120,000 a year. Why? Because we know that that's exactly who she's going after. She's going to rob the people who pay the bills in this country to pay for her obese and out-of-control spending. Why won't she finally end the ripoff?
The Honourable Deputy Prime Minister, Minister of Finance.
Mr. Speaker, yesterday our government gave every single Conservative MP a chance to stand on the side of working people, of teachers, of nurses, of electricians, of carpenters, of welders. They cannot wiggle out of the shocking position they took. They took a position on the side of multimillionaires against working people and against fairness. But now all of Canadians know where they stand.
A point of order, the Honourable Leader of the Official Opposition.
Mr. Speaker, I believe if you seek it, you will find unanimous consent following.
I'm already hearing a number of the Honourable Leader of the Official Opposition. I just want to. You should hear it first.
I can hear it.
Folks, give me a second here. The Honourable Leader of the Official Opposition has the floor. I don't even know what he's asking for. No, I cannot hear him. Ladies and gentlemen, I can't hear anything. So I wouldn't know if it's in order or if it isn't. So the Leader of the Official Opposition has the floor until I say otherwise. The Honourable Leader of the Official Opposition.
That the House call on the Liberal government to enshrine into law that the bottom 99.8...
I'm just going to consult for a second here. I guess we don't have consent, so I apologize, Your Honourable.